The UAE is one of the most popular destinations for expats in the world. In fact, in 2024, it was the most popular destination for millionaires to move to in the entire world. But just a 1-hour flight away from the UAE is the beautiful country of Oman that I recently went to visit, that at least on the surface gives a lot of the same benefits as the UAE. They have low taxes, warm weather, great safety, friendly people, and they also have a lot of things that the UAE don't have, like the scenery. The landscapes are extremely beautiful. Yet somehow you don't really hear anyone talking about Oman. So is there a reason for this, or is Oman a hidden gem? I've lived in Dubai for 2 years, and recently I went to visit Oman to check out this country. So in this video, I'm gonna give you my comparison of UAE versus Oman, specifically from an expat's perspective. Which country is right for what kind of person? What are the residency options, the taxes? What would it be like to run a business in one of these countries? That is what we're finding out today. First things first, we need to talk about the residency options. Well, here straight away, UAE is just much easier to move to. UAE essentially has visa options for pretty much any type of person, as long as you either have money or are making money. So as long as you can basically support yourself, you are always welcome in the UAE. By far the most popular option and the simplest option to move there is just to set up a company and hire yourself. As of now, there are no requirements. You don't need to have a minimum salary, minimum turnover, or anything like that. And then simply hire yourself under that company and you get a work visa that is renewable every 2 years. There are many other options. For example, you have a golden visa if you invest in property that is worth a minimum of 2 million dirhams, so around 544,000 US dollars. For a lot of our clients that we work with who don't want to set up companies and who want to invest in real estate, this is what they do. They buy real estate and they get a golden visa, which is going to be valid for a full 10 years before you have to renew the visa. Oman has a lot more limited options. They do also have a golden visa. You get a golden visa for 10 years if you invest a minimum of 500,000 Omani reals into property, or if you hire more than 50 Omani citizens. Or you can get a 5-year golden visa if you invest 250,000 Omani reals into property. And that might sound reasonable until you realize that 1 Omani real equals 2.6 US dollars. So 500k Omani reals is really 1.3 million US dollars. So a much higher bar compared to UAE. You can also set up a company, but even for the company, you would need to invest a minimum of 150,000 Omani reals in order to be able to set up a company as a foreigner. But if you're, let's say, an entrepreneur, you're just setting up a business, you don't have enough money to invest, or you don't want to buy property in a place before you move there, then UAE is going to be much easier. So just because the UAE is much easier to move to, it just makes UAE the default option for most expats. By the way, if you're looking to move to the UAE, then I don't recommend that you go through the process on your own. This is an extremely quick process, but it is the kind of process where there are a lot of steps, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. And if you try to do it yourself, as in you try to speak to the government yourself, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you're going to end up making mistakes. I'm telling this from personal experience. I've shared this in the previous videos, which is why you definitely should speak to a professional who can help do this for you for a small fee. But the thing you need to be careful about is that the UAE business startup industry, for some reason, is still full of completely, let's just say, terrible agents that will be very eager to get you to pay. But as soon as you pay, the service quality drops drastically. You might end up never getting banking for your business. They might end up putting you into some weird free zone in Sharjah or something, where you just get a ton of problems. If you want to work with a reputable agent who has zero record of any bad experiences for any of our clients, you can work with us. We have a company called ZenZone. We were recently awarded the award of being the fastest growing business startup company in the industry. The way it works with us is that you just pay a small fee on top of the government fees, and we'll take care of everything. And throughout the entire process, you have direct WhatsApp access to our partners who can help you with any problems, any issues you have throughout the process. And we don't sign you into any contract whatsoever. You just pay one fee at the beginning, and there are no fees after that at any point. Zero hidden fees. So if you're interested in getting started with that, you can book a free call in the first link down below in the description. In terms of weather, obviously both of these countries are largely desert climates, meaning you have super hot summers, like to the point where you probably don't want to be outside, but then very nice warm winters, which is exactly why a lot of, for example, European expats would love to have the UAE or Oman, I guess, as a base in the winter, when you essentially have the same weather as you would have in Europe in the summer. And then in the summer, when the Gulf is too hot, they can just go back to Europe, they can go to Asia, they can go spend time in some other base. That is usually how people do it in these Gulf countries. But the one difference is that the UAE is entirely pretty much the same climate, this desert climate that I just described, whereas Oman actually has a lot more variation. If you are in the north of Oman, in Muscat, sort of that region of Oman, you can have these super hot summers, temperate winters. But if you go south, if you go towards like Salalah and that region, you actually have a very different climate. There's even a lot of greenery there. The summers are nowhere near as hot. So if you like the idea of living in this region, but you want to have a base for the entire year, you don't want to leave in the summer, and you don't want to have to go through these super hot summers, then looking into south of Oman might be a good option that not many people even know about. But now talking about just the overall vibe of the place. So Dubai and Abu Dhabi are super modern, cosmopolitan cities, like super international places where there's so many different nationalities. You have a very westernized lifestyle, especially in Dubai, in like the modern areas of Dubai. All kinds of restaurants, global chains, anything that you're pretty much used to, especially if you're coming from like US or Canada or like the North American lifestyle, you're pretty much gonna feel almost at home in Dubai just because of how globalized and westernized it is. However, if you're looking for a more rich cultural Arabic experience, you're gonna get that much more in Oman. Oman hasn't even tried to go into the same direction as the UAE of making the place super international. They wanted to like keep their traditional culture, their traditional architecture, their lifestyle. So for example, if you are Muslim and you want to live like that peaceful Muslim lifestyle, you're going to get more of that in Oman. Although if you just go outside of the modern areas of Dubai, you go to Abu Dhabi or Sharjah or Al Ain or something like that, you can absolutely also get that in the UAE. UAE is going to offer a lot more in terms of things to do, especially again if you're an expat and you're not Muslim, you're not Arab, and you want to sort of get the best parts of your lifestyle in the West perhaps without sort of the downside. I always say that UAE, especially Dubai, is pretty much like the West without the problems of the West. Like you have all the Western conveniences, the lifestyle that you want, but you don't have the crime, you don't have the terrible weather, you don't have the taxes. Whereas Oman, you are going to get those practical benefits, but you're also going to get a very different culture. And whether you want that or not is again just going to depend on who you are. UAE is going to be much more convenient. Ordering food is going to be easy. You can pretty much order anything to your door. In the UAE, you can literally live your entire life just in your apartment or house. You never even have to leave if you don't want to. Much more gym options, restaurant options, entertainment options, all these kind of things. Whereas Oman, let's say you're just looking to live a peaceful life, you're looking to grow a family, perhaps you're retired or something like that, then that is more the kind of vibe, like this more sleepier vibe that you're gonna get in Oman. In terms of food, both of these places are gonna have a lot of options, but UAE is just gonna have a lot more options, again, because this is a lot more internationalized. You obviously have amazing local food, amazing Lebanese food, Arabic food, but you also have any kind of cuisine that you would ever want. Whereas in Oman, I really love Omani food, I love the local food, but the range of options in terms of other cuisines is going to be more limited. In terms of safety, both of these places are some of the safest places in the entire world. UAE was recently ranked the safest place in the entire world for women to walk alone at night, for example. And I don't know the exact statistics for Oman, but I would imagine it's pretty much just as safe. In terms of finances, so for cost of living purposes, you would save a lot more money living in Oman. Housing can be up to 3 or 4 times cheaper in Oman for the same kind of quality, although you're going to have much less options in terms of if you're looking for like a modern high-rise building, you just don't have that in Oman. In Dubai, there's going to be more of a range of options, but you're absolutely going to pay a lot more for it. However, if you're a super high earner, you're actually going to be much better off in the UAE simply because the tax situation is more favorable. For now, neither of these countries have a personal income tax, but Oman have recently introduced a 9% personal income tax. It's not like fully approved yet, but in the next couple of years, that is coming. And in terms of corporate tax, Oman has a 15% corporate income tax that applies to all businesses. UAE has a 9% corporate income tax, but that only applies to businesses that make over 3 million dirhams a year in revenue. That's around $816,000 a year. So if you make below that, your class is what's called a small business, and you will get their small business relief, meaning that you're entirely exempt from this corporate tax. So in the UAE, you can still live completely legally for zero taxes personally and in terms of your company, whereas in Oman, you would pay some taxes, not super high or anything like that. But if you're a super high earner, you're going to be better off financially in the UAE. So in conclusion, these two places are similar, but also very different at the same time. They cater to two kinds of different people. Dubai is for you if you're looking for that global, fast-paced, fast-moving environment that is going up at a super fast pace, that's really focusing on making it super successful economically, that's giving you all these tax benefits for you to really build wealth. If you're looking for more of a peaceful life, you want to just build a family, perhaps you want to retire, then Oman is probably going to be more suited for you. But anyone who lives in the UAE should absolutely go visit Oman at some point. It's an amazing place to go do like a more relaxed vacation. We were there for a week. It's not going to be the most exciting place in the world, but there's a lot of amazing nature. If you want to see my other video on Oman where I go through my honest first impressions of Oman, you can watch this video right here, and I will see you in the next one.